Hi, I'm Bob from Plugable Technologies. We make a lot of different products that allow you to add one or more monitors to your Windows system. And what I'd like to do today is just give you a quick overview of how Windows, in this case Windows 10, allows you to configure the additional displays to work the way you want. So what I have here, I have a Dell laptop and I have a ViewSonic monitor. I don't have the monitor connected to the system yet. What I have just off camera that you can't see is a USB 3 3900 DHE adapter that we make that allows you to add multiple displays to your system. So what I'm going to do is just connect the HDMI cable from the monitor to the adapter, and in a moment what I should see is my additional display come on. This is the default behavior of Windows and it's called extend mode. This is basically an extension of my desktop that allows me to have more room for icons or applications. Now, how does that work exactly? Well, what I could do is open up a web browser, and instead of having it on my main screen, I could actually move it over to my extended screen. Okay, so that's extend mode. Well, how do I go through and make changes and how this works, or if this isn't working right? Well, the way you do that, let me switch so you can see a little better, is to use a program in Windows 10 called Display Settings. And the way you access that program is to right-click on an empty space on the desktop and then select Display Settings. So this application is designed to show you all the displays hooked to your system and how they're configured. In this case, it's showing me display number 1, which is my internal laptop display, and display number 2 is the external display I just added. If I wasn't sure if that was actually correct, I can actually click the Identify button, and you'll see small little numbers appear on the displays to match the boxes that are on screen. I'll do it again, number 1 and number 2. In addition to showing how the displays are oriented and letting me identify them, this application also lets you change the size of things on the different displays by using the slider, the orientation, whether or not they are in landscape or portrait mode, meaning they'd be flipped on their edge if we rotated them, adjust the brightness, and also make changes in terms of how Windows is extending the display. I mentioned earlier, by default, it extended my desktop to this display. I also have other options here, including one that says duplicate these displays, which will allow me to have a copy of what's on my internal display on the external. And when I have that setting selected, you can see up top that the boxes, which were separate, are now merged together because they're going to be duplicated. But it hasn't actually made the change yet because I have to click this Apply button first. When I click Apply, it will make the change, and I should see a duplicate on my external screen, which I do. And it gives me the option to keep changes or revert. I'm going to say keep changes for right now. And that's just in case you make a mistake or the system gets in a state that you can't see what you're doing, it will automatically fall back and go to the previous state. I'm going to go ahead and change this back to extend these displays for now and apply the change. To ask again if I want to keep the changes, which I do. And you can see that the boxes went back to the order that we saw originally, and my screen over here is in extend mode. In addition to those options, I do have the option of going to Advanced Display Settings, which has a similar box or display setup, but it also allows me to change the resolution of a display, meaning how much information is displayed on each. Now, what I can see here is that my internal display is selected, and I have a resolution of 1366 by 768, which refers to the pixel height and width of the display. I have the ability to change this to something different if I have a specific need to. And not only do I have the ability to change the resolution of the internal display, if I click on the external display, I have the option to change its resolution as well. And you can see I have different options for that screen because it is a different type of display with a greater resolution. So that's just a quick general introduction on how Windows display settings work. I hope to have more videos that go into more detail following this. Check the description in the bottom of the video for that.